Today we are discussing a heavily requested topic. We're talking all about overcoming self-doubt, overcoming hesitation, overcoming uncertainty in the markets as a trader. Now, this could be just before you're about to take a trade, that initial hesitation, that self-doubt, that uncertainty about getting into a position. And we're also going to talk in today's masterclass about just uncertainty and self-doubt in the journey in general. Can I even make it as a trader? Can I be successful in this game at all? So we're going to be addressing self-doubt from multiple different angles because this has been such a heavily requested topic from my students, from you guys, reaching out, asking questions on this. So I'm really excited to get into this particular masterclass. I know it's going to be incredibly valuable. So let's dive into it. We're talking all about overcoming self-doubt for traders. Now, the big problem we're addressing here is self-doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty. It's that feeling of doubt in your own abilities. And this manifests in a couple of different ways. This self-doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty can lead to second guessing and hesitation just before you're about to take positions, which is ultimately going to disrupt your edge. If you have a trading plan there, which I know so many of you do, and you've got it clearly laid out, then when you come to the market and the market's presenting an opportunity that aligns with your trading plan, it's that hesitation, it's that self-doubt, it's that uncertainty that lingers in your mind that's going to kill your ability to consistently execute on the edge that you know you have. So this is such a crucial topic to discuss in order to have consistent profitability. This can also lead to you not fully believing in your own abilities to make it and to be successful as a trader. And there are enough odds stacked against us as traders that we can't have ourselves against ourselves, so to speak. We need to back ourselves and we need to have certainty in our ability to be successful. Now, that doesn't mean we're unrealistic in our expectations on ourselves, as we're going to talk about soon, but we're going to be able to have certainty in our ability to be successful as a trader. And this is a key characteristic that I've seen with the most successful traders that I've worked with. Okay, so the first solution that I want you guys and girls to put in place if you are experiencing self-doubt, if you are finding yourself uncertain, if you are finding yourself having hesitation towards being a successful trader or before you take individual trades, the first thing I want you to do is to reset your belief system, to reset your expectations on what it means to be a successful trader. Now, let me give you a little bit of an analogy that I love. This is a little analogy that Dr. John Demartini shares a lot, and I think it's brilliant. I think it embodies the principle I'm trying to communicate here. What he says is that, let's imagine I came up to you and said that you're always happy, never sad. Always positive, never negative. Always up, never down. Always supportive, never challenging. Always nice, never mean. If we're talking in terms of absolutes, always and never, the extremes, you can't have certainty there. You're going to turn around and be like, you know what, that's not true. Sometimes I'm negative, sometimes I'm mean, right? We can't have certainty towards extremes and absolutes. And so too, if I came up to you and I said that you're always negative, never positive, always down, never up, always challenging, never supportive, always mean, never nice, you again can't have certainty towards that. You're going to be like, that's not true. Sometimes I'm positive, sometimes I'm nice, sometimes I'm supportive. So whenever we talk about absolutes and extremes, we can't have certainty there. But if I was to come up to you and I say that sometimes you're positive, sometimes you're negative, sometimes you're supportive, sometimes you're challenging, sometimes you're nice, sometimes you're mean, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're a success, sometimes you're a failure, you can have certainty towards that because that's true. That's rooted in universal principles. That's true among all human beings I've seen, is that sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down, sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad. That's a principle we can have certainty in. So the first little principle I want to communicate to you is that if you want certainty, if you want to get rid of self-doubt, if you want to get rid of those anxieties and the hesitation in your trading towards yourself in the journey or just before you're about to take positions, you have to redefine what it means to be successful as a trader. Successful traders have both sides to them. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. Sometimes they're on winning streaks, sometimes they're on losing streaks. Sometimes they're in the positive, sometimes they're in the negative. It's the hesitation, the uncertainty, and the anxiety comes in when we're expecting ourselves to be one-sided. When we're expecting ourselves to only be the positive side, the uncertainty surfaces because we know intuitively that it's not true, and it can't be true. So the first principle here is everybody's two-sided. You cannot have certainty when you're expecting yourself to be one-sided. Nobody is one-sided. I've never met a one-sided individual in my life. When individuals are supported, they're positive, they're nice, they're happy, they're supportive. When the individual's values are challenged, they're mean, they're sad, they're challenging, they're negative. So we can expect certain behaviors from human beings depending on how we support and challenge their values. And both sides of the equation are essential, otherwise they wouldn't be there. You know, sometimes we need to be mean. Sometimes we need to be negative to balance other people out. And it's there for a very particular reason. But if we're expecting ourselves to live in this fantasy of always being one-sided, we can't have certainty towards that. We're gonna have self-doubt because it's not real. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So certainty comes when you have balanced and realistic expectations on yourself. The first thing I want you to do to eliminate your self-doubt in your trading is redefine in your mind what it means to be a successful trader. The best traders I've worked with, very successful, making a lot of money from their trading, guess what? They're just human beings at the end of the day. Sometimes they have bad days. Sometimes they're extremely negative. Sometimes they take enormous losses. Sometimes they don't stick to their trading plan, right? They have two sides to them. So the first thing I want you to do is redefine what it means to be a successful trader. You're gonna have both sides. You're gonna have both sides, and both sides are okay. Both sides are necessary. You can take it one step further and ask, what are the benefits of being negative? What are the benefits of being the side I don't wanna be? And start using that to your advantage. You're gonna experience it, you may as well use it to your advantage. And the second thing here is before you're about to get into a position, make sure you have balanced expectations on the outcome, realizing that either outcome is possible. I've accounted for both outcomes. So win or loss, it doesn't matter. I'm taking this trade because it aligns with my trading plan. And then guess what? All of a sudden, the hesitation, the self-doubt, it just dissipates because you're not expecting a one-sided outcome that everybody intuitively knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen next in the market. Okay, if that makes sense. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the market. So if we have an expectation on a certain outcome, the self-doubt, the uncertainty, the anxiety is going to surface. All is feedback helping you to set realistic, two-sided, balanced expectations in that moment. Okay? Now, that's a very important idea to embody as a trader. And I really want you to hold some weight on this first principle because it will go a long way, if not completely eradicate self-doubt, anxieties, and hesitation in the market. And by the way, that's why I have the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool to help ground you and get you into balanced, realistic expectations before you get into the markets. All those anxieties dissipate. The second thing here is about creating a game plan. You want to always be strategic. If you have self-doubt, if you have uncertainties, if you have anxieties, chances are you haven't strategically planned out the journey for yourself. Chances are you're just pursuing a fantasy without very specific and deliberate action steps that lead to your ultimate success. And it's for this reason that I created what I call my 7-year master plan, where everything that's important in my life is in that master plan with a very specific strategy on how I'm going to get there. And it's all laid out. And it's very clear and it's very specific. And I don't have anxieties. I don't necessarily have uncertainties or hesitations in my journey in all areas of life because it's mapped out. I've spent a lot of time developing that. Now, that doesn't mean I know exactly how my future is going to plan out, but I have very specific action steps that I'm doing every day that I have certainty in that are moving me towards being the individual that I'd love to be. And when you're clear and when you're strategic and when you've planned out and you have a game plan, a lot of those uncertainties and self-doubts just go away. So the self-doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty comes when we haven't strategically planned when you're pursuing a fantasy. When, again, you're trying to pursue a one-sided world that doesn't exist, all positive without negative, that's where the other side surfaces in our mind. You want to create a game plan. Where would you love to be in 1 year? Ask yourself that question. And then what are the highest priority actions to get you there? Where would I love to be in a year? What are the highest priority actions I'm going to do today, tomorrow, the day after, right? And then you're clear on where you want to be, where you're going, and you're clear on the highest priority actions to get you there. A lot of that self-doubt, a lot of that uncertainty just goes away. Who else can you talk to? You want to ask yourself, how can I best use the resources around me? Who are the individuals who've already walked the path that I want to walk? How can I ask them great questions to get some insights from them? What information can you watch? There's an enormous amount of great information on YouTube. I've got my 12-week program. I've got the 7-day free trial to that, so you can check that out completely free, no strings attached. You can check that out before you even commit to it. That's another great resource you can utilize. There are, I'm sure in your trading communities, a lot of great resources that you can take full advantage of, and you could go in and watch as great information to help you on your journey. So you want to ask yourself, what are the highest priority resources I can utilize to help me get to where I'd love to be? Who are the highest priority individuals I can speak to? What are the highest priority books I can read? What are the highest priority videos I can watch? Who are the highest priority mentors that I can study under? And utilize the abundant amount of resources we have in front of us to help create a strategic game plan to eliminate the self-doubt, the anxiety, and the uncertainty. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, the last little component to this is all about not being naive. And it's a little bit of a caveat in this type of situation. I see a lot of traders who are naively going through the journey and never questioning and never utilizing their self-doubt as a necessary feedback to realize that, you know what? My self-doubt in this situation is actually justified. And I'm just blindly following people that I don't even know, expecting it to get some sort of result that I can't be certain of. And the little message I have for you here is that your self-doubt, your anxiety, and your uncertainty can actually be your best friend. And what I mean by that is it can be helpful and it can help make you introspect and review. You may want to ask yourself, is my self-doubt, is my uncertainty, is my anxiety, is it well-founded? After you've done action 1 and action 2, if you still have it, maybe what you're pursuing isn't real. And maybe you need to take a step back and be a little bit more skeptical here if you were previously a little bit naive, and really question the system you're trading and question the way you're going about doing the things you're doing. And the most important thing here when you're skeptical is you want to make data-driven decisions. So don't naively follow something that if it's not working. You want to take a step back, use the self-doubt as a driving force to dig deeper and make data-driven decisions. At the end of the day, the data doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. So if you can go back and you can realize that I have self-doubt here, let me use that as a driving force to actually see if what I'm doing is grounded and it's real. And I have numbers to support that. And I've got data from the market to show that what I'm doing actually works. Then what you're going to do is you're not naive to something. You've got true, actual facts, evidence to support the journey you're on. So use the self-doubt, use the uncertainty, use the anxiety as your friend as a driving force to dig deeper. I know this is what a lot of the best traders I know. In fact, there's an individual that I've worked very closely with who's incredibly skeptical. And at times it kind of balances out my naivety at times, but they've been at times incredibly skeptical. And it made me take a step back and realize, you know what they're saying, part of it may actually be true. And I'm gonna, what they're skeptical about, I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper on that and make sure I've proven facts to support that what I'm doing actually works and I'm just not naively following something. So don't be afraid to use your self-doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty to your advantage. It's there for a reason. It's there to help you, and it's just about shifting your perception towards it. But I would encourage you to utilize these 3 things we talked about. Redefine what it means to be successful. Redefine what it means to be a successful trader on each individual trade. It's not about the outcome, it's about the process. And then go in there, don't be naive. Use your self-doubt and anxiety as a way to dig deeper and make process-based decisions. And please, please, please have some goals. Set some goals, have a game plan, and make sure they're strategic. If you don't set how you would love your life to look in the future, chances are someone's going to define that for you. So just take some time, spend some time just putting pen to pad and writing down how you would love your life to look in 1 year's time in all 7 areas of life, and then what are the highest priority actions you can do every day. Even if you're working a 9-to-5 job, even if you're working multiple jobs, if you're using and utilizing the highest priority resources and actions every day, you're going to make progress in all 7 areas of life, and your life will look in alignment with how you would love it to look, and it will look completely different to a year ago. Okay, so utilize these 3 things, especially if you're experiencing self-doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty in the markets. They're going to help. Now, if you found this video useful, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with your trading friends. Let's get this information out there because I know it's going to help so many traders out there. And like I mentioned, I alluded to in this video, we have a free 7-day trial to the 12-week program. So if you found this useful, if you want to learn the mindset principles on a deeper level and have the tools there to actually go through and do the application, if you want to start creating your master plan and your game plan, we talk all about that in an enormous amount of detail in the 12-week program. I'll give you the tools, the accountability, the checklist, everything you need to follow through and actually get results. But I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. We'll speak soon.